Alright, so we're ready to move on with the build. And if you're wondering, everything that comes in shipment number 23, I did an unboxing video. Up until this point, for all the shipments, I've done 2 videos. I've done one of the unboxing. You can see everything that's in it, and the other one is just the build. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the build. And we're going to be doing the deflector dish. Love it. I think there's 120, 125-ish kind of stages. And as of right now, we're already up to number 87. So I think she's going to start to really take shape now from here on out. So we got everything that's in 87. So you guys may or may not remember, a long time ago, we had done the deflector dish. So you can see in our latest shipment, we've got the beautiful blue deflector dish with that iconic orange on the inside. So take your deflector dish assembly and the main deflector dish center, both from stages 3, that was a long time ago. Then position the main deflector dish in the center of the assembly as shown. Next, push the main deflector dish onto the assembly as shown and secure with 2 CP screws. So this is going to be a really relatively simple. You can see the areas where the screws are going to go in. Yeah, that looks really cool. All right. So we're starting off relatively painless. All right, what are we going to do with that now? We're going to put it in the section that we've been working on from the last shipment. I think this isn't, is this all? Yeah, okay, this is all screwed in. I just wanted to make sure. You remember we had done this in the last shipment. So what we got to do now is we're going to put the deflector dish. So the larger section is going to go on the bottom, and it's going to fit into place, and you can see the 2 little wells for the screws. Like that, and that's going to be held in place with AM screws, and I just saw them. Here they are. And that's going into metal. So you still have to be careful not to over tighten them, but it's harder to do it in metal, so it's less likely they'll be stripped. I'm just going to put them in loosely, and then I'll tighten them up in a minute. Man, look at how amazing it's starting to look. I love it. Okay, are we going to put it in? Yes, you can see we need to put it into the circuit board. There we are. So, nowhere near as many as we have in a primary hull so far. I can't wait to try this out. We're going to play with it a little bit. We're going to test everything, but I love it. All right, so that's all set. So now what we need to do is we're going to start doing the escape pods. And again, if you have a plastic tray, it means the part is metal. And we've got exactly 3 of the escape pods. Okay, those are going to be held in place with pieces 87C and 87D. So this one is going to go on the top, can see where the screw is going to go, and that's going to keep it in place. All right, now we're going to use 87D, and the little areas that are suppressed are actually going to go facing down, and you'll be able to tell when it clicks into place. And we need 2 AM screws, and you can see what it looks like. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, we're all set with that now. Now we're going to take the reflective backing, and see, we're not going to put, all right, we got to put the windows in first. So we're going to put 2 room lights that are on the right hand side, and we're going to put 2 room lights that are off on the left hand side. It might be interesting to note that there is a section that's a little bit longer. The longer part, or the longer half, goes up facing down, just in case you can't get them to fit. Okay, so now we're going to take part 87G, and this is going to go right on. There. You see we got the windows in. And the way it usually works, if we don't have a bulb directly in the windows, there's a bulb that's going to be in the bottom of the saucer section, and the light might go in from the side in order to light them up. But that's all set. What do we got to do next? We have to put on the phaser array. A beautiful phaser array, and this is going to go on just like that. Very simple. And that's going to go in place with 2 CP screws. And this, remember, is going into plastic. Remember, it's better to under-tighten them and keep having to adjust than over-tighten them and having the screw just fall out because they're stripped. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're ready to move on, and maybe we're going to put it onto the saucer section. Nope. That was everything in 87. Now we move on to stage 88 assembly. We've got 88. Again, I did a complete unboxing, and I show you everything. We go through the magazine and everything you want to know what's included. And let's see. Can we see the Aztecing? A little harder to see on this one. All right, let's put this stuff to the side. We're going to need, you can see the pattern. Let's start with the light windows. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to have 10 of the room lights that are on. There's exactly 10. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. All right, now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need 13. So there's 10 on this tree. That looks good. What we got to do now is we got to put them in place. And this is always fun. We're going to be, let's see, this section. This is going to go on this side. Just like that. And we got this one. And hopefully you can see where the lights are going to go in. Okay, we're going to put BP screws in to hold them in place. Okay. So when it comes to this section, hopefully you guys can see. It's going to be right over here. So, do we have lights that are already ready to go? Take your saucer assembly and plug deck panels and the lights of the longer of the two sets. Alright, so we got, and I learned that the hard way to read that. So we got the, alright, these are the shorter ones and these are the longer ones. These are going to go up and under, and they're going to come out all the way at the end. So the red one is going to stay on the right, and the yellow one is going to come out on the left. Alright, so let's put the wire, the bulb in first on this side, just so it's a little bit easier. And now let's run it through. I mean, we still got to make sure that there's room for it to get through on the other side, and we have to put it up through the we got to put it up through the frame, but that's okay. All right, now we got to put this bulb in over here, and let's make sure that nothing gets disturbed. So we have to put the lights on the other side, and we have to join it to the piece that we had just done. So this is gonna, where did I just put that piece? So this needs to go on, and we need to have lights that are gonna be in the bottom section. So this is gonna go on like this. Like that. So this should be a real joy. Okay, so now we got to take the other set of lights. Let's make sure that this is all set. So now we take the shorter set and we got to run through, and that's going to go in these sections. So there's nothing that holds this in place. The only thing that's going to hold it in place is actually when it's screwed into the frame. So this goes on the top. And now we can put this in. So let me, this has to make sure that this is through. Because you got to make absolutely sure that the wires aren't going to be tangled up in the frame, because that'll just destroy them. I'm not going to screw them in tight yet, because I need to get them in position. Okay, so it's in position, and you can see how really nice it looks. It's lit up. So let's go ahead now. I'm going to shut it off, and I'm going to tighten them into place now. There. Hopefully you guys can see that. Looks beautiful. All right. What else we need to do? 3 FM screws. Okay, we're all caught up now on that section. Let's put her aside, and we're going to put the little clips in place. And that's what these are. What do we need? We need AM screws. All right, one more, and that's gonna go. All right, so I got the 4 of them in. So we put, I hope you guys can see this. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4 that are gonna go on this side, and it looks like we have 2 more that are going to go on this side. and it'll make the wires look a little bit neater. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see we've got 2 on this side, and we've got the 4 on the other side. So it's going to kind of keep the wires out of the way. All right. Okay, so that is this section. Let's move on. And now we're moving on to stage 89. So we're going to put this aside. And this is starting to look pretty wild, and everything is nice and snug. Everything's in position. All right. So we're going to put the springs in. And we're going to do the phaser array. So let's make a little bit of room. So when it comes to this, you can see there are 4 springs that need to go in here. And I just seen the springs. Where's the bag? Here they are. So let's see if I can attempt to show you guys. There are little circles with raised pins coming out of the middle, and hopefully you can see that's where the springs are going to go, and they're going to rest on, and then we're going to put the phaser array on top of that. So let's get this opened up. All right, hope I don't knock them out of place, but hopefully you guys can see the springs. All right, what do we do now? Retrieve the ventral phaser array supplied with your stage 83 parts and carefully position it on top of the springs. All right, 83, so let's see where that is. Here it is. Now that's going to be held in place. It's got the FP screws. Here we are. Okay, that looks good. And all set with that. And now we're going to go on and we're going to put some more escape pods in. So we're going to put this section aside for now. And we've got the metal piece that's in a small plastic tray. We're going to need, let's see, it looks like 8. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to put the backing on. And this is going to be held in place with AM screws. And this is going to go on like this. There. That looks so cool. Actually, that light might be taken away. Okay, that looks better. All right. So, looks like we're going to put the outer rim on now. And let's see, it looks like it's going to go like this. See how the little pins come through? And that's going to be held in place with are those FM. Let's see, where are those? Here they are. And this is going into metal, so you don't have to worry about stripping. Well, you do, but not as much as if it was going into the plastic. There. Looking pretty nice. What are we going to do next? Now we're going to be using the FM screws, and these are going to go in to the panels, and this is going to go into the frame, so we need to get the frame back. Alright, so let me go ahead now, and I'm going to make sure these are nice and snug. It's getting so big, it's getting hard to handle. Alright. So now I'm going to tighten them up. And what you guys have to make sure of, and of course this is going to come flying out every time I... So when it comes to putting the outside of the saucer section on, you have to make sure that it's overlapped where it kind of hooks the bottom piece. So in this case, the top section. And you got to put it on so it keeps them together, but then you have to push it and pull it down to the side so it goes under the tab and it locks into place. So I think I can go ahead and let's tighten them up now. Alright. That's good. Alright. And now we have to take that little piece and we're actually going to put that onto the area that's had the screw so we can conceal it. So that gets pushed in like that. See how that's kind of held in place like that? Okay, so that's done. That was quite an ordeal. Like I said, you have to see the way they have it designed is everything gets locked together and you have to push the pieces. This rim, the outer rim, is actually going to hook this section and bring it together. Stage 90 is the last issue that we have in this shipment. So let's get this out. We have more of the escape pods. But before we get to that, you can see this section, or this piece, is going to go right on the inside. I'm thinking that this is where the stand is going to come through. So let's see, which way is it going? I want to make sure it's facing the right way. There's a little slot on there, and I think that might go underneath. See how that looks? And there are no screw holes for that, so I want to make sure it's facing the right way. Okay. Take the sliding door 90F and position it in the battle section lower bracket as shown. This will be secured in the next step. Alright, looks like now we're going to do some FM screws, and there are going to be some plates that we're going to put to secure it. And those parts are 90G. That's not what these... Oh, here they are. So you can see the screw holes. And this is going to go, let's see, right over here. That fits in nicely. And the other lock plate is going to go like this over here. There. That's going to be held in place with FM screws. There. And I guess the piece is meant to slide. I don't know if that's right or not, but yeah. Place the sliding door brackets over the sliding door and secure them to the battle section lower bracket. Using 6 FM screws, you should now be able to move the sliding door back and forth between open and closed positions. Yeah. Okay, now it looks like we're going to put this on the bottom. Then place the battle section lower bracket on the main battle section as shown. Secure the upper bracket with 14 FM screws, 4 BM screws, and 1 AM screw. So we got a lot of screws to put in, but that's what it's going to look like. So let's get started. See, there's a piece coming up off the bottom. See this tall piece on the inside? It's just not lining up, and I had to just keep maneuvering it until it lined up like the other one did. And it takes patience because they're mass produced, and it's not a guarantee or a given that they're all going to go together really smoothly. So I have to work in the different areas just to make sure that they go together. Think of it like when you're putting on a tire and you're going to put the lug nuts, you're going to do it opposite to each other when you tighten them up. You're not going to do them in order. And that's kind of like what you got to do for this. Okay, so we got them all on. They're all tightened. And that was an ordeal because the frame, it took manipulating to line up all the areas, and on the bottoms, I don't know if you're going to be able to see what there are. There are like poles or tubes that come up where the screws have to go into to line up, and they weren't lining up, so I had to manipulate them and go around and just, oh man, I'm glad this is on. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, because I thought it would have been easy, but it's on, and there's a lot of screws securing this, so this should be okay, because this is going to have to hold a lot of weight. Okay, so that's done. So it looks like we need to go over, and we need to do some more of the escape pods. Looks like we're going to need 10 of them. So that's going to be held in place with this plate. And it looks like we're going to be using AM screws to keep that in position. There. That looks pretty good. And now we're going to put on the outer rim, the section. And as you can see, the little notch is going to go to the right. So we can put it on like that. That's going to be held in place with IM screws. There. And it looks like what we need to do is we're going to put it into the ship on the side of the other one that we just did. There. Just because that can't get locked in between the frames, they'll cut them. All right, and now we got to do the same thing. We got to make sure that this is going to go. Make sure that this is as tight as possible. And again, we got to make sure that it's overlapping, because like I said, this is going to keep everything secure. All right, that's done. There. Again, I like hearing that snap. So we got another little section finished of the ship. Let me see, what else do we got? So we got that section all set. And that is everything. That's the last part that we got to do for this build. Okay, so when it comes to this This was shipment number 23. And we ended up getting issues 87, 88, 89, and 90. We did another section of the saucer. Let's put it on. Let me show you guys how cool this looks. And you remember we did the little blink light, and that's what we got. That's the section that we did. And it looks pretty spectacular. Okay, so that is, and as the secondary hull is coming along nicely, we put the frame in. We also put in the phaser arrays, and we put in the deflector dish. You can see the circuit board now starting to get filled. It looks like it's almost halfway filled. We got the little door in where the stand is actually going to go and support the whole ship, and that's why we had to put a lot of screws on the frame, because this is going to support a lot of weight. This is really heavy, and the primary hull, it's got to be 10 pounds or more. But this is a very heavy kit, heavy model. So my friends, that was everything, the build, the unboxing, and this was shipment number 23. And we got up to 90 now in the issues. And like I said, there's 120, 125-ish. So we're starting to see the home stretch now when it comes to the model build. And I can't wait until she's finished. She's going to be absolutely spectacular. So my friends, until shipment number 24, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.